Welcome, Red Stringers. This is Dark Chronicles Media, and you're listening to the Gilgo Files. Here, we follow the threads others overlook. We trace the connections, the questions, the moments that matter. And together, we unravel the stories hidden in the dark. Our first episode begins with one woman, one voice, one night that changed everything. Her name was Shannan Gilbert. To understand what happened that night, she disappeared. You have to understand who she was, not the case, not the theories, but the young woman at the center of it all. Shannan grew up in a world that rarely made room for her. Her childhood was marked by instability, poverty, and years spent in foster care. She learned early how to survive chaos, how to protect her sisters, how to keep moving even when life kept shifting beneath her feet. But she was bright, unmistakably bright. Teachers remembered a girl who absorbed information quickly, who wrote with imagination, who tested into advanced classes. She graduated high school early, something few expected from a child who had grown up with so little support. She dreamed big. She loved to sing, to perform, to imagine a future where she could be seen for her talent instead of her circumstances. She recorded songs. She talked about becoming a performer. She wanted a life that felt bigger, safer, and more stable than the one she came from. She struggled too. People close to her believed she lived with bipolar disorder, moments of confidence and energy, followed by moments of fear or instability. She tried to manage it, tried to stay grounded, tried to build a life that made sense. Money was always tight. With no safety net and few opportunities, she turned to escorting as a way to survive. It wasn't her dream. It was a way to pay rent, to stay afloat, to keep trying. She loved her sisters fiercely. She made them laugh. She tried to be someone they could look up to. She wanted to build something better, even when the world made it difficult. Shannan wasn't perfect. She made complicated choices, but she was always a daughter, a sister, a partner, and a young woman trying to survive with the tools she had. The night of May 1st, 2010, is just after 2 a.m. when Shannan arrives in Oak Beach with her driver. The neighborhood is quiet, a gated community tucked against the marsh, the kind of place where nothing ever seems to happen. She meets a client inside his home. At first, everything seems normal, but something shifts. Something scares her. Her voice rises, her breathing changes. She insists someone is after her. She runs from the house in a panic. Her driver tries to get her to leave with him, but she refuses. She's terrified, convinced she's in danger. At 4:51 a.m., she dials 911. Her voice trembles. She begs for help. The call lasts 23 minutes. She runs through the neighborhood, knocking on doors, pleading for someone to let her in. A man opens his door to find her screaming for help. A woman sees her running past her house, confused and frightened. And then she disappears into the marsh. When police arrive, Shannan is gone. The marsh is thick, disorienting, and unforgiven. Officers search, but the darkness swallows everything. Her family pushes for answers. They call, they demand, they refuse to let her be forgotten. But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and still nothing. 7 months later, a K-9 officer searching for Shannan makes a discovery. But it isn't her. Along the edge of Ocean Parkway, he finds the remains of another woman, then another, and another. 4 women in total, all young, all petite, all working as online escorts. The discovery changes everything. What began as a search for one missing woman has become something far larger. A year and a half after she vanished, Shannan is finally found. Her remains lie in a marsh less than half a mile from where she was last seen. The explanation is debated. Some believe she became disorientated and drowned. Others believe she was chased. Her family never accepted the idea that she simply wandered off. The truth of her final moments remains one of the most contested questions in the entire case. But one thing is certain: Shannan's disappearance forced the world to confront a pattern of violence against women, especially sex workers, who were often ignored, dismissed, or blamed. Her story changed the trajectory of the investigation. It changed public awareness, and it changed how we talk about the victims connected to the Gilgo Beach. She became the spark that lit the investigation, the voice that refused to be forgotten. Reg Stringers, stay with us. Follow the threads. Keep asking the questions others won't. In our next episode of the Gilgo Files, we retrace Shannan's final movements, examine the unanswered questions, and explore how her story reshaped one of the most significant investigations in modern history. Dark Chronicles Media presents the Gilgo Files, and this is only the beginning. This episode was created using publicly available reporting, interviews, and investigative materials from The Lost Girls, an Unsolved American Mystery by Robert Kilkert, People's Magazine's interview with Maury Gilbert, CBS News and 48 Hours investigative coverage, Good Morning America reporting, A&E's Long Island serial killer case analysis, public statements from law enforcement, attorneys, and Oak Beach residents, verified timelines and case records released by Suffolk County authorities,